We will fuss, cuss, and discuss. I still need to pick that one up. I don't have that one on anything.
I was about to say, as soon as that came down, I went and bought the PS5. I had the Switch version like wish listed, and it's other buying options, and it's already gone up in price. But the PS5 version was like $34, $33 or something like that.
That's not horrible. That's not horrible.
Not at all.
Is live. We're here. Or something like that. Man, these fast chargers these days, like my phone was at 35% when I got down here and back to 80.
Yeah, in like no time.
Yeah, when you get a great charger, it just goes. And that, I mean, I'm good now for like 10 hours at 80%. Those were a game changer. I'm about tired of all these lightning devices, though. I think I'm ready for the all USB-C. My kids have the USB-C iPads, and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. Renee's here. Renee, stay with us. Yeah, Renee, stay with us. We're going to need you for this first topic. Need your feedback. I believe this first topic you have some experience in and some passionate knowledge and intimate knowledge of this. I may be overselling your connection to this game, Renee. But I think it's one of your jams. One of your jams. All right, we got dinosaurs. Are you good with the Game Pass bit? It's kind of speculative.
I'd say I hadn't even heard of that.
But it is The Verge, and I'm kind of intrigued by it because I feel like I'm using the PC one more than anything. So that's relevant. I feel like that's relevant-ish.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put our spin, and then we got everything from that show. And I think I found a chronological one like you like to find.
Yeah.
Is that who we used before?
I hadn't verified.
I pulled up a couple, and I kind of like it because...
Yeah, I think we've used them before.
Yeah, so I was able to bounce around a couple stuff. This news might not take as long. It's really just trailers.
I don't know. That show was an hour, so...
Yeah. Because I told you when I got home, I was like, damn, I need to catch up on it, and I cut it on. It was still the live stream. I was like, holy fuck, it's still good. I said, oh, it's still on. That thing was going, man.
There was I'm about to say you didn't put anything in there, and I didn't watch it myself, but there was a Silent Hill transmission.
Do you want to find that and put it at the end? We could touch on a couple of those notes. Because there's nothing. I didn't realize there was nothing in this gamer article, but you and I watched those trailers. We can at least talk about the stuff.
Yeah.
I think the other stuff is like more for me typically. Like, Richard can watch this. Let's put the actual notes in there so he can tell what's what about each game.
I don't know. I didn't even see anything come up from
the transmission.
Mario that much. Yeah, about the transmission.
I didn't see a whole lot of PlayStation stuff, to be honest.
Right? Except for right at the end.
And then like I follow Sal's Threads posts from Gamatsu, so I see those pop up, and he fills in the news after the fact, like he finishes the show and then starts plugging away and popping all that stuff in.
So the Silent Hill transmission was only like 15 minutes, and I'm not really seeing anything else mentioned about.
I mean, if there's anything major, we'll catch it next week. So
yeah.
All right, you ready to rock?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 384 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and Dead or Alive appreciation podcast. Brant, why in the year of our Lord would we be mentioning Dead or Alive in 2026. You're from 2026.
Maybe people will find out a little later in the show. Something that happened today.
Some of this news is going to sound like 1996, right? We've got Dead or Alive, Legacy of Kain, Jurassic Park, Time Crisis, Tekken, Metal Gear Solid. It's like
Metal Gear.
Yeah. Castlevania. Yeah. Right? You like Castlevania, don't you?
Don't you? Yeah. I do indeed.
I mean, we got Ace Combat last show, so I guess we can't do the name drop of Ace Combat. Oh, there's a lot of stuff we're going to discuss. But tonight's news, Jurassic Park closing down, ? Friend of the show, Renee, is in the chat, standing by for his hot take. Game Pass tiers restructuring, ? Is that my second ? I didn't mean to put one. Okay, closing down. Jurassic Park closing down statement. Game Pass tiers restructuring, ? And we had a PlayStation State of Play today, full of things that you can play on your PlayStation in whatever state that you're in. My name is Richard Bergman. I'm in the state of Georgia, and I'm in a slight state of delirium. Joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee. Brant, what state are you in? Exhaustion.
Yeah, exhaustion. Slightly ill. I'm always illin'. If we're going with 96. We're going the 90s.
You're always illin'?
Sick. Illin'.
I'll accept it. That might be episode title. Punch it in. Yeah, man, this is going to be like if we had if our show is retro themed, and it kind of leans that way sometimes. Well, you played some Metroid and I played Dragon Quest VII, so I guess we're still on the what year is it trend? Oh, we played Warzone. So that's definitely relevant. That's definitely something new. Let's get into the news. Renee's waiting in the wings on chat. Renee, thank you for joining us always.
We need his opinion about this first story for sure.
Yeah, Renee, we need your take. I believe you're a big fan, or I've totally built this whole fucking thing up and you don't give a shit about these, but I'm pretty sure you like this.
I'm pretty sure yeah.
Yeah, this is Renee's jam.
This franchise is Renee.
This comes from Chris Golion at VGCVideoGamesChronicle.com. Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection is being delisted after 2.5 years. Limited runs digital retro release will be taken off digital storefronts next month. In a statement posted on the game's Steam page, the publisher informed players the game will be removed at the end of March, but noted that anyone who buys it before then will be able to continue playing it. They released a statement essentially saying digital storefronts March 31st. Quote, if you already purchased the game, don't worry, you'll still be able to re-download and play it anytime. In the past, we learned how important it is to provide plenty of notice for changes like this, so we're committed to being as open and transparent as possible. Our goal is to give fans every opportunity to grab the game before it's too late. Thanks for understanding. Blah, 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 blah. Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection is a 7-game bundle featuring emulated versions of the following titles. Jurassic Park for Super Nintendo, Jurassic Park for Mega Drive Genesis, Jurassic Park for the NES, Jurassic Park for Game Boy, Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues for both Super Nintendo and Game Boy, and Jurassic Park Rampage Edition for the Mega Drive/Genesis. The game is usually priced at $29.99, but it's currently that price on other formats. The PlayStation Store currently has it for $7.49 until February 25th. So you have 2 weeks as of this recording to grab this copy. Renee's take in the chat says that ceiling fan got me hypnotized. It's going so fast. So he's totally glued in on your ceiling fan there, Brant. It's whipping around up there. The article goes on to note this game was released November 22nd, 2023. That was the digital version. And the physical version was like, 6 months to 9 months or a year after that? Like, it wasn't an immediate follow-up. Yeah, the standard physical release came out at $34.99, it said, with a $175 prehistoric edition. I don't even remember that one. And VGC notes the physical editions will, of course, still be playable after the digital edition is delisted. Renee says he already purchased the game for Steam. Renee, are you going to get a physical copy so you'll have like a backup for Switch or PS4? Was it a PS5 SKU or was it like a PS4 with an upgrade?
Oh, it was a PS5.
It was a PS5 SKU. That's the one you purchased, Brant. When you saw the news, you went and grabbed it. I probably need to do the same. I hate this kind of shit. How is it being delisted that fast? Is it because it's a license?
Really quickly.
That's so quick.
I don't know. Spielberg.
That means there's a Jurassic World collection coming.
I don't know.
Are there any Jurassic World games?
There's all those like Jurassic Park Evolution and
the Park Builder
Evolved and yeah.
I started playing. There's a VR series called Aftermath or something like that, and it's like a cell shaded, like you're hiding from the dinosaurs and like moving around and stuff. That was really cool. I think it's Aftermath. That was a lot of fun. Very similar to. Do you remember that Tokyo something game we were talking about last week? That's coming to Switch 2. Tokyo Escape.
Yeah.
When I was watching clips of that.
The dinosaur, yeah. The dinosaur creeping away from the Xenos. Not dinosaurs, Xenos.
They're not dinos. No, do. It's not, they're not dinosaurs. Ours
completely different. Completely different.
Speaking of dinos, a slight offshoot. Games leaving Steam, games arriving to Steam. Dino Crisis 1 and 2 are now on Steam for $4.99 a piece. Ooh. I looked at, it's always funny to me to see like a PlayStation 1 game and the minimum requirements are you to have like 8 gigs of RAM to run this thing. And the PS1 had 2 megabytes of RAM for that thing to get up and running. I'm like, what are we doing here? What is this overhead to get this emulation layer running to spin these things up? But I'm curious, they don't say Steam Deck verified or anything. I'm wondering how they behave on something like a Steam Deck.
I can't imagine they'd run terrible.
It says it requires Windows, so it's always dicey how that stuff goes, right?
Yeah.
Renee's last bits on the Jurassic Park stuff before we move on. He says he's not surprised. He's told the company is known to place games out for sale. After a while, they delist games. They don't release games after they're delisted. How true it is, he doesn't know. And Renee said he's getting Dino Crisis, so definitely, Renee, grab them. $5 a piece. Renee, if you get those for Steam Deck before we do, let us know if they play. I know you play a lot on Steam Deck, so if you don't mind giving us a heads up, that'd be pretty cool. I think everybody on the show is interested in knowing that one. Both 1 and 2.
They have to, they have to run good.
You would hope.
I mean, even if you probably download like that Proton experimental layer, and it probably is fine,
and let it run through that.
Yeah.
So if you have any interest in those Jurassic Park games, go ahead and grab them. Next up, Microsoft could reportedly merge Xbox Game Pass Premium and PC Game Pass. This comes from Jordan Midler at VGC. Microsoft is reportedly exploring a merger of 2 of its Game Pass tiers. According to The Verge, Microsoft could soon simplify its lineup. It's claimed that Microsoft could experiment with a free version of Xbox Cloud Gaming Service. That's not a rumor. That is factual. Like, people have been testing the with ads version of Game Pass. PC Game Pass currently costs $16.49 a month. Xbox Game Pass Premium, which was formerly known as Xbox Game Pass Standard, costs $14.99 a month. However, Ultimate is $29.99 a month, which went up from $19.99 a month. God, these pricing tiers. Last week, Microsoft announced new titles coming to the service. The 12 games, which include High on Life 2, are available to Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass subscribers. I wanted to throw this in there because I have found with the ROG Ally that I have used Game Pass more for like trying out these new releases via the PC versions of those. I know you heard me talk about last year playing South of Midnight and playing Oblivion, the Oblivion remaster. And I did both of those via Xbox Game Pass for PC, but I had the Ultimate tier until I had that booked out for a while before the crazy price increases. Thinking Inside the Box is here. Box, welcome. Box says, hey.
Hello.
We're about to get into some PlayStation news. Cover your ears. I kid, of course. Box likes games everywhere. Still hoping we could play Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon on some sort of device at some point in the future with some sort of play anywhere nomenclature, whatever they want to call it these days. I guess we could talk Game Pass more. Where do we stand on that, Brant? I don't think Buish let his go. I think Cesar's good till like September, he said.
Yeah, I still haven't, but I'm probably gonna drop down to that like essential tier and see like what I still do, and if I after a year I still really don't visit it that much, I may just cut it off. And like that's what Weish was talking about. He's like, I'm thinking about just canceling it altogether, and if I need to re-up it to play with y'all, I'll re-up it, and then when it runs out, it runs out. And then if I need to re-up it again later, I'd do the same thing. So,
because we've been playing like titles we've been playing on, I think the three of us have tended to pick up those third-party titles now on PlayStation. And we've kept our PlayStation Plus various tier memberships. But Buish has the Xbox. So, but some of these, like if we were to play Fortnite, I don't think you have to pay for anything for Fortnite. And we get the party chat within Fortnite and everything, and free online play, and there's other titles like that. Like it's changed where that doesn't drive that subscription model necessarily. Halo Infinite, I think, was free to play. You don't need an Xbox for any. Yeah, they just want you to buy that battle pass. That's the moneymaker there. So I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. We had some. Is Warzone one of those? Because that has been our go-to for the past couple years, and then we got another round in it with the most recent update and had a blast. So maybe we look at that and see if that piece is even worth keeping. Because you just get Game Pass Essential, right? Where you get that legacy stuff. You don't get you don't get Indiana Jones day one. You don't get the new Halo game day one. You don't get Gears of War, that sort of stuff. What we talked about on the show, you can get that physical somewhere else, and then maybe you already pay for the online subscription for that. You buy the physical Gears of War with the game on the disc, and then, there's other routes across there. That stuff's always evolving. This, of course, is a report from The Verge, so we'll see if there's anything that comes out of that. All right, Brant, this is the big lift. Today, there was a PlayStation State of Play. There is one it was huge.
State of Play. Over an hour.
It was. I came home and thought it would be over, and I was chatting with you, telling you I would catch up on it, and it was still going. They were still showing stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's still going. I popped in right at the premium stuff when they were showing the old school games, and I was like, wait a minute. That's pretty cool. What else did I miss? So then I was just like, I told you in Cesar, I was like, I'm speed running trailers. So I'm trying to see what I missed, what was in there. Because I wasn't even seeing like notifications popping off. So, let's get into this. Brant, what did they start with? I know you and Cesar are a big fan of this, and I've actually got it downloaded on my Steam Deck. I need to cross this one off the list.
I know Cesar played it and said it was really good. I had downloaded it and still haven't gotten a chance to play the first one, but they started with the sequel to Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which is Kenna Scars of Kosamar, which like features a slightly older Kenna. She's in this brand new land, and it's I guess the first one more focused on her helping like spirits and things.
It was like they're like the little soot monsters from Spirited Away, right?
Those little where this one focuses more on like helping living people, as well as like there's a build on like some different mechanics. They talked about how they built on things from the first game and kept a lot of the other things with like the epic boss battles and things, more exploration, and evolving the combat that Kenna has as well. But it looks really good, and it's
riding like a big, beautiful fox thing.
Yeah, like a big. I don't know. It's like a green foxy wolf thing. I don't know. It's an interesting looking animal.
I can always tell,
but it looks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it looks really, really good.
It looks fantastic. I can always tell when something is unique and really comes across, because I watch a lot of gameplay trailers and videos and things like that in the living room, right? And my family's just doing whatever. But if something gets their attention and they're like, "Oh, what is that?" then that's kind of like, okay, there's something here, like something about this art design or this universe or this world, music, something made them perk up and pay attention. And this was one of them. And then further down, like, I know we're going to end up talking about it, but was it Beast of Reincarnation?
Yeah, we'll continue on.
Project Windless. We're going to talk about it. But Project Windless. They were looking up like, oh my gosh, what is this?
That one was funny for me. Ghost of Yotai Legends. So this is the free DLC that adds the online component from the first game.
That's what they call the Ghost of Tsushima co-op thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Legends.
And this is coming March 10th, so you don't have to wait very long. Next up, we got the announcement that was, again, a theme with this is a lot of these were kind of poorly kept secrets. Yeah. Death Stranding 2 PC port coming March 19th.
Being done by Nixxes, who PlayStation typically seems to partner with for PC ports, and they do a phenomenal job. You rarely hear about a bad PlayStation PC port. Those are all, well, like, you could easily recommend a Returnal or a Ratchet and Clank or a Death Stranding or a Spider-Man to a Steam or a PC player based off of those PlayStation ports by Nixxes.
Next up, we got another look at Pragmata, and of course them reiterating that the demo's available.
And you talked about that last week. It was like a 20-minute snippet that you enjoyed.
Yeah. It's not a very long demo, but it's a very good demo. Definitely like that. Next up, we got the kind of out of nowhere Legacy of Kain Defiance remastered.
This was not expected or rumored or anything, was it? Like, this is the last
at all.
The last Legacy of Kain game that came out. Defiance is getting a port, and not by.
And it adds
Aspire. It's a different.
No, it's not by Aspire.
It's a different group. Yeah.
And it adds like different skins, and there's a bunch of art and some other a bunch of extra content to kind of go through in these games.
Legacy of Kain is back, baby.
And that is coming March 3rd. So yet another one you don't have to wait very long for.
Did they follow that up with, I don't see it in this running tally, but there was another Legacy of Kain project announced.
I think it was in that trailer on here.
Inside the trailer.
There was something, it was something attached to that. I'm trying to scroll through.
This is a very basic news bit that we got from thegamer.com. It's basically just a summary of the trailers, because Brant and I ended up watching the show, so we at least have some. I'll be honest, it's usually me. It's usually me that's not able to watch the show. Was it Ascendance? Is that what it's called? Or was that the Castlevania project?
No, it's March. Oh gosh, what does that say?
March 3rd is Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered.
March 31st is Legacy of Kain Ascendance.
And what is that exactly? I can't remember.
I am not certain.
Another Legacy of Kain thing.
I wish they would have had those separated on here, because I cannot remember, even though the show was hours ago.
Let me look real quick. Ascendance. What was it? Ascendance, the first new Legacy of Kain game in over 2 decades, is out next month. This is from IGN. Crystal Dynamics has revealed a brand new game. Ascendance is admittedly a different genre and viewpoint. It's a retro pixel side-scrolling platforming starring 4 characters. Okay, this is a prequel to Soul Reaver. This coming together now. It features Cain, Raziel, Elilith. Yep, I said that right. 1, 2, 3. That's only 3 characters. Players will spend roughly equal time playing as all 4 characters. Who did I miss? Cain. 2 different forms of Raziel, the vampire and the human version. Okay. Like he got turned into a vampire during the events of Soul Reaver. In addition to retro pixel art, Ascendance also includes hand-drawn anime-style cinematics and some sections of art intended to invoke the PS1 era 3D style of the original games. Ascendance will be scored by electronic rock musician Cell Dweller, who recorded the companion soundtrack for graphic novel Soul Reaver: The Dead Shall Rise. Okay. Elilith was introduced in that graphic novel. Crystal Dynamics has also confirmed the original voice actors of Cain, Raziel, Ariel, and Mobius will be returning to their roles for the game. So that's a big deal. That's coming to PS5, PS4, Switch, Switch 2, Xbox, and PC via Steam, GOG, and Epic Games Store. So pretty much everywhere, right? And last but not least, what's more, the deluxe edition of the game will include a demo of the never-before-seen canceled Legacy of Kain 6, rumored to have been titled The Dark Prophecy. How the fuck did they pull off a playable demo of a canceled game? Thinking inside the box says, hell yes, Cell Dweller is sick. Okay, I gotta check out their stuff then, because that name did not ring a bell. If you're a Legacy of Kain fan and you've been dormant as a vampire for the past 20 years, you are now eating good finally over the past 2 years. Same thing with Tomb Raider, I would argue. Tomb Raider's like had this major resurgence with all the Legacy stuff being ported forwards. Hell, Tomb Raider 2013 is coming to like Android phones and iOS and stuff, right? Like you can play that version on phones. All right, Brant, that's the Legacy of Kain update. What other obscure PS1 RPG are you going to bring up next?
Actually, I'm going back through and I looked at the actual video of the PlayStation state of play here, and I've noticed that there's some stuff they left out.
In the article?
Yes. So right. After Pragmata, they showed yet another look at Resident Evil 9.
That's right.
And then it was actually before both of those, they showed the 4-person co-op game coming from the from Bad Robot. 4-Loop.
4-Loop. Yeah, that looked really good. Brand, I dropped the ball in the news, man. I put this article in there.
No.
Totally screwed us. Because that's not a good summary. We're skipping major pieces in here.
And that's from one of the people that did Left 4 Dead. And that was like it was showing off all these crazy, everything's like procedurally generated, and they showing off that eventually you get to these big like boss sections. But then after those, we got Brigandine Abyss, which is kind of like a Japanese RPG anime style. And then went to Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, which is coming June 25th.
DOA, baby. Brant, I dropped in a better link, I think.
You did?
And it's got a small summary. This is Eurogamers. It's going to be in the news. Dead or Alive 6 is getting an update for PS5. It's called Last Round. So Dead or Alive 6 came out for PS3 and 360, right? Isn't it that old?
I believe so.
All right, so DOA 6 is getting an update for PS5, bringing new costumes and future update plans. It'll even have a free version you can try out, which I think they also did on like 360 and PS3, or they had like a $20 retail SKU or something that you could get that was like a bare bones disc, because that's when they started making money on costumes and DLC and that sort of stuff. No more news on this, but something exciting for the 30th anniversary. And that followed up a trailer just called Dead or Alive, new project teaser trailer. And that featured Ryu and is that Kasumi? Is that Dead or Alive character?
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, a game I know Cesar would be absolutely all for.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be big on this one. I want to know because this looks different from the first game, so I kind of want to get his take next time we record and see what he thinks because he loves Remedy games.
So this was Control Resident gameplay trailer. They showed off a what they called an early bit of some gameplay showing this new character with featuring some brutal melee action. They also showed off this ability where I think they showed, or what they called it, like shift or something. So it takes place in a kind of like alternate New York City or a morphed or warped New York City. And so, you know, you may be on the ground here and you may be looking at the top of a building because the building is like technically on the side and it's jetting out of the side, and the character, if there's a point to shift, can basically like shift the gravity of himself and like stand on that rooftop, even though it's technically like the wall. And it's crazy because they had like the gravity physics where stuff was falling down.
Yeah.
Off. He was knocking enemies off and they were falling straight down.
They were like mindfuck environments.
It was very interesting, and like most of these Remedy, like the Control series, they have some very trippy graphics and visuals. It looks really interesting.
I love stuff that messes with scale, and that definitely does that with all the buildings that you were talking about. Resident Evil. That was Control Resident.
This is the next one, which is Crimson Moon. Crimson Moon looked pretty interesting as well.
This looks fantastic. This was like my surprise of the, oh my god, what is this?
It's like, it looks like, I guess, co-op?
Yeah, there's two characters in it the whole way through, but it never says like co-op adventure.
The way they frame it, it seems like it's co-op. It's coming in 2026. You're like these character, or at least the narrative talks about how you're like a hybrid between an angel and a human, and you're the perfect warrior to fight all these demons, and it's like the super visceral, brutal attacking and all these different enemies. It looks really damn good.
The art style was
kind of like a
art style was like the newer Diablo titles to me.
Yeah, like it's a very gothic.
Yeah.
Art style. Medieval-esque.
Very unique. Crimson Moon. What's next from the Pokemon studio?
Surprisingly, this was the one time I think when we saw it in the what was that, the Xbox show, they mentioned Pokemon developer a few times.
Yeah.
But this, it just said Game Freak popped up there, but this is the Beast of Reincarnation. Just a new trailer showing this game off. It still looks really good.
August 4th.
It's releasing August 4th. Then we got another one of the worst kept secrets, the Rain Man 30th Anniversary Edition. What we didn't know is that there are several ways to play this. They showed off like the Game Boy Color version and the PS1 version, and kind Jaguar. Of like when I talked about Croc earlier, or I guess last year technically, this takes kind of that same route. There's going to be a lot of developer deep dives, interviews, a lot of concept art, and there's even like a prototype build that they found in like kind of remade and got working there
from Super Nintendo,
which is pretty interesting.
It was long. It was like long rumored, and this is the brilliant minds at Digital Eclipse putting this Rayman 30th anniversary edition together, and it's coming out tomorrow.
Looks great
for $20.
Yeah, it'll be available as you're hearing this. It's already out.
Go to your digital storefront of choice and spend $20 on this. Rayman is awesome.
Coming out physically later, which I want to say, what did they say, June or July or something?
I don't recall seeing a date on that one. But that's definitely these are my double dips. Like day one digital, probably a Steam version, as long as it runs fine on Steam Deck, and then grab the PS5 copy down the road or Steam copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last week, and then I had teased Cesar about bringing back Rayman because he had talked about this rumor of the 30th anniversary edition. Friend of the show, Mills, had that Game Boy Advance version. That was one of his first Game Boy Advance titles. So we played Rayman on GBA. And that was, when you first got those first couple of GBA games like Circle of the Moon and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and Super Mario Advance, like you could not believe you were playing that handheld. Like we're spoiled with the Switch and Steam Deck and all that sort of stuff. But like when you got a hold of that GBA and F-Zero and just Golden Sun, and those were on a handheld, and it was just mind blowing. I used to drool over those screenshots in Nintendo Power and on IGN's website and stuff like the Spyro. Do you remember the isometric Spyro games that were on GBA? Yep. Those just look so fucking good to me.
And the Tony Hawks.
Yes. And it was obtainable for me. Like the console was $89.99 or $99.99 when it came out, and games were $40. Like this was in my wheelhouse to save up or ask for a birthday or Christmas or something like that and get some of these things. Then I started working and I was able to buy some of these. So that GBA was special, man. And that Rayman is a good one for GBA, and it's included in this collection. I think the Game Boy Color one also. It's Jaguar,
I think so.
PlayStation. You did not get the Saturn one, which is interesting. Is the 3DO? Did Rayman come out for 3DO? Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and the Super Nintendo.
I remember Gex on 3DO. I don't remember. I don't think it Rayman ever came out on 3DO.
You might be right. But this was in the era, and Cesar likes to bring this up and point it out too. Like we got different versions of stuff. Like you got Mortal Kombat on the Genesis. It was not a carbon copy of the Super Nintendo one. Like it wasn't the parody, Wolfenstein: The New Order for the Xbox One versus the PS4. Like one runs in 1080p native, one runs in 720p or some variation of resolution scaling. Like, no, we got different versions of games. It was tailored to the particular hardware, and we started losing that after probably 360 PS3. Right after that was when those variations started.
There was a time that you would have something that would come out still on PS2 because it was still popular. But you'd have the PS3 and 360 version. Then you'd have a DS and PSP version. And then you had like an N-Gage version if N-Gage was to it.
I've got Tomb Raider for the N-Gage. I have 2 N-Gage units.
Oh, gosh.
With the Sims, with Sims in the City on each one. They're demo units. Yeah, that was it. It was so different.
It was a crazy time.
You got such wild variations, and then like in retrospect, you look back and you get these wild things like Ghost Rider, which is kind of a God of War style game. It runs at 60 frames per second on the PSP. Like the PSP one is this better version of the PS2 one. It's like, what witchcraft got this thing running like this? But and Burnout, like the Burnout versions on PSP, and it just, we could talk about that forever, but back when you had, it's nice to know that you can buy something. You buy Oblivion and you can play it on PC and you can play it on Xbox and you can play it on Series S or Series X, but it's scaling that same version. You're not getting this different experience, if you got Lion King for Genesis, you heard the Yamaha FM chip versus the Super Nintendo one. Like there was these different Aladdin was 2 totally different games on Genesis and Super Nintendo. Yep, thinking inside the box says some games also had completely different soundtracks. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk, especially from a lot of older developers, that talked about how now it's almost too easy or too vanilla when you're developing a game. Back in the day, the limitations of the hardware caused innovation in development. You had to think differently. How do I get this to run on this thing? Or we got it over here. Now, how do we translate it to run on this machine? And, oh, we've got to tweak this. Or, oh, what if we change this portion to do this? And it caused so much variation and creativity. And now it's just kind of like, okay, well, we got it running on this machine. We can port it to this machine. But it's never... oh, well, we have to change this to this. It's, oh, we just have to lower the resolution or limit the frame rate, or it's never like a huge overhaul. You don't have to like really overthink anything. You just have to recode something. It's
brute force across the board. Like, it's optimized for PS5 Pro. It's going to play best there, but it's still not perfect. And PS5 is going to be a fine version. Yeah, you're right. Instead of like trying to, we've only got so many colors we can put on screen. Let's try to figure out a way to make it look like we don't have, we're duplicating colors, or where you had reflections on things. Like, was it Castlevania Bloodlines where it was rendering twice to where it looked like there was a shadow going across, and it, like, they're pulling off tricks with that hardware that, like, you couldn't do that on Super Nintendo, and you're not supposed to do that with Genesis. Or on the NES when they started, the cartridges are maxed. The hardware's maxed out. It's old Famicom hardware. They start packing custom chips on the cartridge.
Yeah.
So you get stuff like Kirby's Adventure. You put Kirby's Adventure next to like an early Famicom launch, and they don't even look like the same console. It's like, this is not being played on the same machine. And yet they are.
I mean, yeah, they did a lot of magic with that. with being pushed back on the N64 and releasing, Donkey Kong Countries, and you had Star Fox and all these crazy games that still came out on this machine, and they pushed it to the limit. I mean,
and you got poor Sega releasing these peripherals for the Genesis. Sega CD, Sega 32X, and then Nintendo's pumping out Star Fox and Donkey Kong Country and Chrono Trigger, and people are like, it just plays on the thing I have. And what?
No add-ons.
Yeah, no add-ons. It just plays on the device that I have.
Another piece of hardware.
And they leaned into that, and it worked. You don't need a $300
tower of power here.
Tower power.
Nintendo is the powerhouse.
Things were just being pushed so much, though. It was this arms race that, like, now it's just a pissing contest, right? But it was a legit arms race then of innovation and just these companies pushing each other, and the outsiders that were 3DO and Sega and Xbox and PlayStation. And it just, I don't know we've had anybody shake up that space.
No.
Since VR, maybe? Maybe the Switch with the portability, but even at that,
Speaking of VR, my
go ahead.
Virtual Boy shipped.
I saw that. I got the same notification. Cesar's in as well, so all three of us will be able to get Virtual Boy impressions. Remember, he said he listened to the show. Yeah, we'll all be in there.
Yep.
All right.
Well, we're all in the eye blurring virtual reality.
Join us in the red and black future.
Oh, okay, yeah. Back to the state of play. We got another look at Mina the Hollower.
Yeah,
that's the game from the creators of Shovel Knight. Mina the Hollower. I know it got pushed back a little bit. But this game looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual successor
pixel art,
like Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages looking, right?
Yeah, it's that very, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Game Boy Zelda kind of look. but it is getting an exclusive demo to PS5, and I think they even said like exclusive limited time demo, if I remember correctly. So you may want to check that out while you can.
Really? Timed? Because I think the Steam one is just like out.
Is it? I didn't know that Steam had one on there.
Maybe I downloaded it on Switch. I've had the opportunity to download this. If this was like a Steam,
really,
what do they call it? Next Fest. If that was like a,
but this is an exclusive demo too, so it might be a different vertical slice.
Okay, that's definitely worth looking into then too. What's next?
Next up was Neva Prologue. Obviously, a prologue to the indie game Neva that came out, was it last year? And this is coming out February 19th. Then next up was Yoko Shinobi Ops.
Oh, this looks good. This looks good.
A like, it kept changing perspective. You'd have like the sneaking around, which kind of took this almost like zoomed out third person perspective where you're sneaking around and hiding. There was even like a almost Metal Gear Solid-esque where he's underneath a box.
A box, yeah.
And it even kind of did the like field of view where like certain areas are dark until you looked over that way. And there's it looked like regular humanoid enemies, and then there's these weird, like tall, almost monster-like creatures that kind of skulk around and hunt you down, and you've got to evade those while you're going in here to complete these objectives and I guess assassinate your foes. But it's like a multiplayer thing. It's coming in 2027 to PS5.
This wasn't the only reason why, but I'm really craving some old school Metal Gear Solid after this show. Like, I think it might be time to fire up the first one with the kids. I'm thinking it's
hey, that's time. A good one.
I'm thinking
it's a good one.
We watched a couple trailers because I want to play something with them. I want to go through something with them. They were playing Overcooked. I sent you a picture. I know you're a big fan of the Overcooked games. And then, like, they're pouring through my Plus library and games that I have for PlayStation. They tried a Nickelodeon game. They wanted to play Fall Guys, but that's not split screen, which seems like a huge missed opportunity. But I guess that just means somebody has to download something else. And so they were disappointed with that. They wanted to play that split screen. But Overcooked, one of them says it raises their blood pressure too much. They don't want to play. Because the other child is much more demanding than that one. So tempers were flaring with some Overcooked, but they did enjoy it.
Overcooked can get contentious. It's not quite to like Mario Kart or Mario Party.
Yeah.
Since it's supposed to be cooperative, it can... That's one of my favorite videos is where, or at least involving Overcooked, is this guy that's standing in front of the TV, and his girlfriend's on the couch, the one filming, and he's like, "You see this? We got to do better. We got to move these plates. You've got to be doing this." And she's just sitting on the couch going, "Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yep.
Yes, chef."
Yep. You sent me that clip before,
and it's man. I can relate because I've played the game, and it eventually does get to that point. It's like, nope, you gotta be cleaning this. You gotta do this.
So here's where I know you've played it. I know how this goes. Here's where they differ. The burners? Yep. Here's where they differ is because one of them just wants to clear the stage and move to the next one. The other one wants 3 stars or 5 stars or what? Yep. No, we didn't clear it. We could do better. I know what we could do better. I'm like, oh my God. And I refuse to play this with Mama. I'm not playing this with Mama. We will end up in not a good state of communication, happiness.
Trap. Don't do it.
Matrimony. It's just all gonna be downhill from here. I'll let the 2 kids duke it out with each other for now. But I'm looking at like They got all the controllers out. I'm looking at 4 PS5 controllers from where I'm sitting. They want us all to play it. I'm like, I don't know about this, y'all. We may not leave this as a family. This may not be a good experience for us at the end of the day. Was this multiplayer? I think that's.
Yeah, I think so. It looked like it was like up to 4 people.
Oh man, I might be in on this one. I was very excited watching that, and I watched it again. I replayed that one.
I think they said they had people that were like, as far as developers, like they had some people that had previously like worked on the Tenchu series and stuff like that. So it's where a lot of it shows art direction and violent killing and assassination stuff was coming from, and then it was really good.
KT in the chat says Overcooked, Uno, Monopoly, Dash, all dangerous. All dangerous. Fear these titles.
Have you seen the
family splitters?
Have you seen the cake that somebody got? It says sorry for what I said during Mario Kart.
I've seen something along those lines. Or sorry of the item that I hit you with during Mario Kart or something like that.
Oh. All right. Next up, the game you mentioned earlier, we have Project Windless. This is Krafton's mysterious AAA game, which looks very much like kind of like a Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
Kind of Souls-like game, but with a chicken man.
It's like a chicken-footed thing.
Yeah, it's a.
Oh no, he is a chicken. I saw him from the back. And I saw him running, but I just saw like the chicken feet, and now I definitely see it's like a chicken man.
That's when I saw this, I was like, "Is this Black Myth Wukong like Rooster Redemption? What, like Rooster?" I was trying to think of a name. I'm like, what is going on?
Holy shit! Where does that fall in? Do you have to play Red Dead Revolver first, or can I go straight into
Red Dead Rooster?
Straight into Rooster Redemption. Something about,
but this is
everything about it looked really good, like the universe and the movement and combat and all that sort of stuff. The camera was funky, and I couldn't put it was like the field of vision, or it was a fisheye lens or something about, maybe you can adjust that in the settings. And this was an early look, right? Like this was the first time they showed it off, but something just
no release date, no nothing. But
did that strike you too?
Early.
Like, are you thinking that when you watch that trailer, like something about that lens was just kind of, it was just, maybe it's not bad, but it just seemed kind of different.
Yeah. And then they went into the Galactic Racer story trailer. This is the brand new Star Wars racing game.
Yeah, this continues to look good.
I was about to say we saw all sorts of vehicles and things you can race, and just the environments and everything going on. It looks pretty dang good. It's been a while since we've had a good Star Wars racer.
Yeah, it looks like an unholy baby of Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, Burnout, and F-Zero. I got vibes of all three of those in that trailer.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking like Burnout.
Burnout for sure. And then when
but yeah, now that you say F-Zero,
when the camera zoomed in and you saw like all the staggered racers like at the starting line and stuff, I'm like, it was like exactly the beginning of an F-Zero race. And it looks beautiful. We're underselling how good this looks. That was a gorgeous looking game. What's that one called again? I keep wanting to call it like
Galactic Racer.
Galactic Racer. I just want to call it like new Star Wars Racer.
And it's coming out sometime in 2026.
I'll take it.
We got another look at the delayed 007 First Light trailer. Our game coming now the 27th of May. Game still looks good. Game looks really, really good.
It does. It's extremely polished.
It's like just a more polished Hitman with a coat of 007 paint. So far, the story and everything that they're showing looks great.
Some Uncharted and Tomb Raider sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a young James Bond. He's cocky. He's being recruited to the Secret Service, His Majesty's Secret Service. Everything about it looks fantastic. Next up, I'll give you a break, Brant.
We got to the Konami part of the show.
It is a Konami block. Welcome to the Konami block. Sponsored by Konami. I don't know that this was like we assumed there would be a Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
But
they've been being asked about it for like 2 years now.
Since the first one came out. Since they announced Volume. Yeah. You can't call something Volume 1 and not be expected to announce or at least tease a Volume 2. But we were always up in the air, like, what is that going to include? We know Metal Gear Solid 4 stuck on the PS3. It's going to be hard to emulate the cell processor and all that. It's never been on anything other than that. I think they tried to get a 360 version up and running at one point, but that was never released. That was a PS3 exclusive. Would it have Peace Walker? Would it have Metal Gear Solid 5? That sort of thing. We finally got our answer, and it is actually going to be Metal Gear Solid 4, along with Peace Walker. And this article from Eurogamer says banger after Peace Walker in parentheses. That's out August 27th, along with an update for the first Metal Gear Solid. So Volume 1, that first Metal Gear Solid collection, which is getting resolution upgrades that you can toggle on and off as you please. And those are rolling out as of now, I think he said in the announcement. So depending on what platform, they're coming out at will. I wasn't super sure. There's some weird graphical things. I would like to see kind of a breakdown outside of the trailer that we watched, because my initial take on some of those resolution upgrades was like, I don't know how great this looks. But we'll see how that actually breaks down. And then in a press release, because I didn't see this in the show, Cesar had to bring this to our attention, right? Did you see this in the show?
Which part?
The Ghost Babel bit.
Oh yeah.
That was
it was like kind of at the bottom. It wasn't.
Yeah. So Cesar has mentioned many times on the show his love of Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, which was the Game Boy Color title, which is like an alternate, almost like a dream telling, I think, because I've started this, but I've never gotten that far in it. Kind of a retelling of Metal Gear Solid 1, but there's all sorts of differences in that in the PlayStation 1 version. Cesar can definitely go. He said he wanted to be on here and talk with us about it for an hour. He said I could talk about Ghost Babel for an hour. But that's also included. Is that coming with this Volume 2 as a pre-order? I couldn't really tell from that press briefing what they said at the end of that. Is that exclusively a pre-order bonus? I wouldn't think they would include a whole Game Boy Color game and just make it a pre-order bonus, or if it comes with that full collection.
I'm not seeing that it's like a pre-order. So it just says that the included things on here are Metal Gear Solid will have improved internal resolution, frame rate increased, custom controls, Peace Walker, custom controls, online co-op.
That's
2 to 4 versus of 2 to 6.
I told you guys.
Ghost of Babel.
Oh, so
we'll have screen filters. Yeah, it's baked in. It's plus.
Part of it.
Ghost of Babel, screen filters, pixel perfect, screen settings, rewind, and custom controls.
I told you guys in the chat, like I feel like I missed out on Peace Walker. I was listening to the IGN Beyond PlayStation podcast at the time with that's when Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller and what's the guy that works for Sucker Punch now? I can't think of his name. But they were like staples on. That's when I first got into podcasts, and I listened to every single week of that IGN Beyond show. And they were addicted to building bases and all the stuff in Peace Walker, which you would do with like a Street Pass type thing, and you would multiplayer with people. And for them to include this one, it's in this one. I want to play that with you guys. Didn't you start Peace Walker in your playthrough? Weren't you messing around with Peace Walker?
I want to say that's the one I finished.
You finished Peace Walker on Vita?
On one of them, I know
PS3,
because I know I was going back and forth because I have them both for PS3 and Vita, and I would do the transferring.
You would transfer it back and forth.
I would transfer it.
I've played maybe
not very far, right here.
Very local transferring.
Very local transferring. A local transfer.
Trans close. I think I've played maybe 30 minutes of Peace Walker. Like I remember Naked Snake on a beach, and you did some sort of training on the beach, and that's it. And I don't know if it just didn't. I played on PSP. Like I don't know if it just. I know it is. I didn't play much. I don't know if it just didn't fit. I struggled with like mobile adaptations that to me didn't fit how I felt like they should play. And that's my own issue, right? Like Link to the Past, I'm wearing the Link to the Past shirt. Link's Awakening on Game Boy played like Zelda to me. It didn't look like Zelda.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't look like the current Zeldas it did look like Link to the Past. How am I trying to explain this? Another one that I can think of staying in the Zelda universe was Phantom Hourglass. I was so hyped for Phantom Hourglass on the DS. And then I was like, I have no interest in playing any more of this after about an hour. I was like, this sucks. This is not a Zelda game. And Peace Walker, I wasn't that repulsed by it, but it didn't feel right to me, you know? And I didn't give the PS3 one a shot. It's on that. It's on the Xbox 360 and that Metal Gear Solid collection as well. That's a good version. So there's other ways to play this, but now with this multiplayer that's, you know, servers are live and all this sort of stuff, I definitely want to play this with you guys. I think this will be a day one for me, probably, to go up there with the PS5 version of that first collection. Any other bits in the Metal Gear Solid thing? What are we missing now? Well, no. You can play Metal Gear Solid 5 on PS4. You can play Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain on PS4. So those are still readily available. And they're not expensive, right? Like if you get them off eBay or something, they're not like, this is not a $200 video game that needs a re-release.
I'm trying to think.
$200 is my barrier.
We got Guns of the Patriots, Peace Walker.
The name just escaped me. Acid, the PSP ones, those card-based ones.
Metal Gear Solid Acid.
That'd be wild.
So yeah, there's a couple there.
I like Acid. I would like an Acid collection. Next up, they showed us. My youngest child was also very enthralled with this trailer. Darwin's Paradox: Tactical Octopus Action.
This looks really good. I'm hyped about this game.
I added it to my wish list, and I added the demo to my Steam library. So I'm going to try to pull it down on Steam Deck and see if I can mess around with it. Tactical Octopus Action, Darwin's Paradox got a reveal trailer, but you can download a demo that includes an ode to Metal Gear Solid tomorrow. So there's already a demo on Steam. I guess there will be a new demo available as of the time that you can listen to this recording. Brant, this is all up you one side and down the other. I will let you take this next story bit because this is the Brant game of Brant games.
Oh, so we got the announcement that, of course, it is Castlevania's 40th anniversary. They later came out and said this is the start of the celebration here. They plan,
big news,
I guess, to do some more Castlevania type celebrations later on as well, or throughout this year. Yeah. But this kicking off is Castlevania Belmont's Curse. It's a brand new 2D Castlevania set in France, and it is coming out 2026.
Brought to you by the Dead Cells Studio.
Yes, which I'm super happy. They did an amazing job with the Castlevania content that they added to Dead Cells. That was really, really good.
Return to Castlevania or something like that.
Yeah. And I'm super, super glad that this is coming out.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've had a proper Castlevania.
Dude,
oh gosh, it's been a while. It's been a long time.
A long time. And alongside all these other franchises we're talking about, like Silent Hill is back. We're talking about Legacy of Kain. We're going to talk about Tekken. We've talked about Dead or Alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of these franchises, just like, this is amazing.
Dormant.
The stuff that we're getting. Yeah. They're definitely speaking to a certain audience. we are that audience. Next up, we saw a reveal trailer for Silent Hill Townfall. Silent Hill Soundfall. A reveal trailer for a brand new Silent Hill is here. Silent Hill Townfall is a new first-person horror game with some lovely, horrific hospital equipment ickiness. That sounds like Silent Hill, according to Eurogamer. There's a lot of excitement that there is a person of color as the lead character in a Silent Hill game. So that representation is super cool. People are extremely excited about seeing a new type of protagonist for a Silent Hill game. So the days of the sad, so lonely white guy wandering through Silent Hill, there's a new spin. I can't wait to see what this adaptation is. And I know you guys love you some Silent Hill, so I definitely look forward to Cesar's take too. This trailer looked awesome. We didn't see a lot from this, but I even watched, rewind. Do you rewind? You rewind a YouTube video, right? Is that still the right term? Did you tape? Brent, did you tape the state of play so that you could watch it? So you could watch it again?
Yep. Be kind, rewind, sir.
Be kind, rewind. Yeah, I watched this, and then it was almost like it was just an announcement, and I was thinking, did I miss something? This looks so good. Is there gameplay that I missed, or some sort of story beat, or something that I didn't catch the first time? So I watched it again. Is it Rev Noir or Rev Noir?
Sure.
The news briefing was translated.
Not 100.
Yeah. So we're reading subtitles on the bottom. So this is a JRPG, and the various individuals that were on there talking about it, we're talking about just the pedigree of people working on this, and that it was going to feature character development, great story, great music, just everything you would expect from like a AAA JRPG. And it looked like, we've been getting Persona 5 Royale, we've been getting Metaphor, we got Expedition 33, like all these great turn-based games. I don't know that it's turn-based, but we're getting like we're back in another golden age of JRPGs. It almost seems like these are great titles coming out. Tales of Arise, Trials of Mana, that they got a full 3D remake. This looks fantastic. Next up,
probably next to Castlevania, probably up there with my game of the show here.
Okay, this really
did not know. Yeah, did not know this was going to be a thing.
Are you that big of a fan?
Yeah,
that big of a John
Wick
fan?
This is a good. Oh yeah, this is a good get here.
Okay. We see an individual in a suit, kicking and punching and shooting and flipping over and just all around being a badass. And then at the very end, kind of pans up and you see Keanu Reeves. And this is just a straight up John Wick. Untitled John Wick game, it's called. Is that like Untitled Goose Game?
Mm-hmm. Untitled Goose Game.
Is this a follow-up spiritual successor to that? This is coming from Saber Interactive. There's not a whole lot of info. It's a very slick trailer. If you like John Wick, you'll immediately recognize who this is and what's happening in this trailer. So, very well produced as a teaser trailer. Brant, you like Marathon?
It's a game. I guess we'll be trying it, right?
I'm more interested in it now than I was before. This was a pretty good showing based off some of the...
It actually was.
It was. It oozed way more style and substance than I have gotten from it before, just in... Because I haven't played any of it in any of their tech tests and previews and stuff that they did. But this seemed to be way more fleshed out. Like, it seems like some of the stuff we've seen before was almost like too far on the preview end. And this seems more of way more substance. I think it's all I can say. It's more fleshed out. But
hey, we'll get a chance to try it though.
We can try it, and hopefully we'll be able to stream some of it. Marathon got a new story /beta trailer, according to Eurogamer.net. Not only did we get more gameplay footage and more tonal horror, but there's a server slam test happening between the 26th of February to the 2nd of March. It's available on PS5 and other platforms. Cross-play, cross-save, cross-everything is what I read on the blog post on the official Marathon page. PlayStation Plus players can get unique charms that pay homage to other Sony big hitters. I can't wait to get a Concord charm in Marathon. Is that the big hitter they're talking about? Playing homage to. We told Buish to put this on his radar, so hopefully if there's no NDA or any weird thing for the server slam, hopefully we're streaming some of that in 2 weeks. It looks good.
I don't see there being a big thing.
It probably
can stream, no problem.
Yeah. Remember I said earlier about like the family, something getting the family's attention and they're looking at it? They were interested in this. And I was like, hey, this is the company behind Halo many, many years ago. They saw Marathon and were like, this looks kind of cool. And it definitely has a very unique look and style to it. And again, more than we've seen before from it. So hopefully it turns out pretty well. Brant, what's coming to PlayStation Plus?
We are getting Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Tekken Dark Resurrection.
Very good game.
Time Crisis. The original Time Crisis.
That was a surprise.
How would you play that Time Crisis without a light gun, you ask? Well, they use the gyro.
I use tilt controls. I play with tilt controls.
A game called Big Walk.
My child was very interested in this one. Dad, do you have this? And I was like, no, we're watching this together. It was just announced. It's not out anywhere.
It's coming to the service.
Yeah.
What some people might call of slop with friends game. It's one of those. Kind of like a Peak or but it looks fun.
It does look good.
Hey, it looks fun, man.
And that's going to be like PlayStation doesn't seem to do it as often as Xbox, where they advertise like day one with Xbox world premiere. But that's going to come to which tier? Is it with Essential maybe? I'm pretty sure that's a day one announcement along with releasing on one of the PlayStation Plus services.
Let's say it opened up in a completely different tab there.
It's usually the middle tier that gets those day one releases, right? It's not Essential.
Yeah.
It's extra. Essential, extra, and premium. I would love for PlayStation to redo those as well.
It just says so coming to Spider-Man 2 is coming to the game catalog. So to me that says
extra and
extra.
Yeah.
And then of course Tekken and Time Crisis are the classics catalog. Big Walk coming to monthly games. So that's going to be one of the monthly games that we get so that would be like your essential tier.
Good.
I'm sure.
So everybody gets that one if you have PlayStation Plus. That's awesome. Here is Legacy of Kain Ascendance. I guess we jumped the gun.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Pretty sure they did those back to back. What's your take on Saros? We got another Saros gameplay overview trailer.
Yeah, Legacy of Kain was way earlier in the show.
Yeah, this is kind of out of order or is this here. I don't know. I don't think it was this late in the show. I thought they were back to back when I watched it.
Yeah, they were. Because immediately after Big Walk was Saros gameplay, which just, I mean, shows off more of the game. Game is out April 30th. It's, oh gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Returnal. It's Returnal's, Succession.
Yeah.
They're, adding the fact that, like, you'll get stronger every time you die, don't necessarily completely reset every time you die. You kind of get like a skill tree, I guess, to build out and all this. They showed that you can even implement like difficulty modifiers and things like that, different upgrades. So I don't know, that I did enjoy my time with Returnal. I think eventually something else pulled me away from that, but one of the main reasons I didn't go back is like sometimes you get so far and you do all this progression only to get knocked all the way back to 0, and then you're like, well, now everything's different. It's cool. I can re-explore everything, but like, all that sense of progression is completely gone. So this might grab me a little bit more, being able to kind of build out like some upgrades and things like that. It looks good though. It looks pretty good.
I bought Returnal right after they came out with the co-op expansion, with the intent to play with you with that, and we have yet to give that a go.
Never tried it.
We have yet to give that a go. So maybe in anticipation of sorrows,
they gave it to us in the service too, didn't they?
Maybe. I kind of
maybe they did.
I file away, like if I have a physical copy, I kind of file away. I mean, it's great if I go in there and I can just grab it from there and not have to bust out my disc. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's the benefit of having the digital copy down the road, is that you don't have to end up getting your disc out after the fact. But it's just a convenience factor, right? But I think I bought it so we could try out the co-op. Maybe we do that before Sorrows comes out April 30th, 2026.
Yeah, I'm down.
Next up, we got some Marvel Tokon character reveal trailer. Storm, Magic,
a bunch of X-Men.
Tons of X-Men. Wolverine and Danger have been revealed for Marvel Tokon in a new gameplay trailer. This is from Arc System Works, right? The BlazBlue
Correct.
Fighting studio. These 4 from the X-Men team, bringing the roster to 11 reveals as of writing. However, there will be 20 characters in total. Another worst kept secret, right? They had the voice of the original Kratos out to announce the original God of War trilogy is getting a full-on remake. Right now it's in the early stages. They teased, hey, when we know more, we'll show you more.
Yeah. I was a little torn about both of these announcements. I'm like, why does it need a full remake? We had the God of War collection, and then there was more of a definitive collection. I can't remember what they called it, but it also had Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta on that.
Origins collection.
Origins.
Those are still really good. Those are good ways to play those games. You're right.
And I mean, they don't feel dated, so when it said remake, I'm like, remake? Why are we I was like, I didn't understand aside from some of the like weird camera angles. I'm like, those games still hold up really well.
Where you could roll and the camera would like take you to the next stage or whatever.
Yeah,
like
just like next, yeah.
Is this
those crazy like fixed camera angles?
We haven't seen yet, because the state of play was today, the 12th, as of this recording. We haven't seen who's working on this, right? If this ends up being a Blue Point joint,
you think this is? Yeah, I'm about to say.
Is that where you were going? Is that where you were going?
Yeah, the Blue Point game, the mysterious Blue Point game.
So if you put that in perspective, they did the PS3 ports of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. I always want to say Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And then they also did the PS4 remake of Shadow of the Colossus. So if it's in the vein of that, but I don't know that was essentially the same game remade,
like
right?
A remaster. Yeah, that was like a remaster.
It was
that one of those that blurs that line between a remaster remake.
Yeah, because the HD collection was like
still had to fight that camera.
Yeah. So would you still have to fight the camera? You were fighting the camera in God of War, or are you fighting the camera in that isometric style brawler? If you remake those, like, what does a remade God of War look like?
That's my hang up. I'm like, what's that gonna look like? What exactly? How are we doing this?
Because you could I think if you took those PS2, PS3 assets and you added PS5 levels of detail and frame rate and that first level of God of War 1 when you're on the ships and there's water everywhere spraying and the Hydra's like lunging at you and there's fires in the background. If you really amp up that scale, but you keep the same like core design and camera angles and gameplay and stuff like that, I think that's a crowd pleaser for everybody, right? You don't make these over the shoulder. You can't play those games in that style. Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, like, are we getting rid of the QTEs too? I'm
right.
I'm like, what are we doing? Which part of how is a remake? How is remake?
When I saw this flash up there, I blindly was just like, yeah. But now you have me wondering, like, what does that actually entail? What needs to be remade here? We need more re-releases than remakes or remasters, right? Just let us play. We have the overhead with these machines. Let me play that PS1 game on this device or PS2 game. Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see what that consists of. But that voice actor whose name escapes me also said, "Hey, there's more God of War coming." And we saw this 2D side-scrolling thing, and it said coming 2026. Then it said available now.
Yeah.
And it's made by Mad Hat Pixels or something like that is the studio.
No, I just saw it.
Just saw it on there. Mad Cat Pixel?
Mega Cat Studios.
Mega Cat Studio. Which, was so close.
When I look up, they're known for Backyard Baseball, 97, 99, 2001.
Weish loves those games.
Gumball in Trick or Treat World. What is this?
Oh, not exactly
World
a
Championship Boxing
Manager
Manager 2. Yeah, this I'm not seeing a whole lot here, which doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad game, but I looked at this, I'm like, this focuses on a young Kratos before he's technically Kratos. Like,
yeah, he's a Spartan.
He's a young Spartan. And I mean, I'm all for Metroidvanias and everything, but I looked at this, I'm like, this looks just like Blasphemous, just like, there's about 10 or 20 other games that look very similar to this, and it kind of doesn't ring true to that God of War. It's like it's God of War only in name to me is what it looks like.
Yeah,
I'm like I don't want to shit on it before I play it, but I'm like, there's nothing here that stands out to me like I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting small baby Kratos with a spear. I think most people were expecting him to have his iconic weapons,
and it's too early. This came out 4 or 5 hours ago.
It's literally just out now. So I'd like to play it or see some gameplay, see some people go through it or play it myself,
and right. And
but I was a little. Yeah, I was excited for it, and then when I saw it, because this was one of those worst kept secrets, this was talked about for, gosh, what, 3-4 years?
Almost that people didn't believe when people spoke of the rumors of like a 2D side
2.5D. Yeah,
how does this happen? Speaking of
but I was intrigued.
Yeah, I want to see more from this. I'm not counting it out. It's not what I would have expected either. Speaking of the $29.99 price point, Brant, a lot of these games in here, we talk a lot week after week, year after year about AA experiences and games that aren't $80 right off the rip.
Yeah.
So many of these in here, and I'm looking at Marathon, Soros, the Legacy of Kain collection, Belmont's Curse, Metal Gear Solid 2, that's $50. 007, I think, is a $70 game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Galactic Racer's $40. I don't know about Project Windless. I think Yako Shinobi Ops, I think that's a $30 or $40 game. Rayman is out today, as of you listening to this recording, it's $20. Like there's a lot of affordable, less expensive titles in here that just really fill this AA space we've been asking for. Right?
Yeah.
In between these huge tentpole releases of a Spider-Man or a Ghost of Yotai or something like that.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it, and Cesar too. If he were here, he'd back it up. It's like, we don't always need these AAA experiences. We don't need these games that take, for whatever reason, have these bloated budgets and take years, 7, 8, 9 years to produce. Get these good AA experiences out here so we can experience them. And it's still, it's not like you were talking about. It's not a $70 game, but you can pick it up and you still have as much fun, playing it as you would something else. So,
and Kenna getting a sequel is a great sign. That's a healthy ecosystem, and that's a healthy development pipeline, in my opinion. And how many people, I think I'm going to be one of them. I know it's on my Steam Deck right now. How many people are going to go back and grab that first game now and give it a shot after seeing, all eyes that were on that sequel today? This was like an E3. Yeah. This is an A+ state of play, in my opinion. This was just nonstop surprises and bangers and the franchises we want to hear from, and some we didn't know we would ever hear from again. So
yeah,
I think it's awesome. And a lot of this stuff, Cesar's always good when he's on here telling us like, oh, that's coming to Xbox. Nintendo confirmed this is coming there. So I'm sure that stuff will filter out and shake through in the next couple days as to what's going where. Like the Metal Gear Solid games are coming to everything. Castlevania is coming to everything. Rayman.
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of the third-party stuff, like you were saying, Konami, Ubisoft, and everything else we know was coming. Everywhere else,
probably God of War and Saros, I think, are the
God of War, Token, Saros. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that pops out. I honestly, I think those are probably it.
Rayman 30th is not on Steam yet. I was going to wishlist it so I could get it when it came out.
Really?
That's weird. Maybe I'm not looking for the right thing. Interesting. I'll find that later. I wanted to make sure I grabbed that tomorrow. Scope it out for the Steam Deck. Is that it for news, Brand? Are we done with that state of play?
That's it. We are done. We got through it.
The first state of play for 2026. I think the state of play is in a good place. We should be able to touch on games played pretty quickly, I believe. I played a little bit more Dragon Quest VII, maybe like an hour. I was playing this vignette on an island where the people worship a flame spirit, and the flame spirit's ritual centered around a volcano and them trying to appease the volcano spirit. And coming to find out, that wasn't doing anything at all, and there had to be something else done. And the whole gist with Dragon Quest VII, as far as I've gotten into it, is the subtitle of it is Fragments of the Forgotten Past. So things that you do in the past reflect in the future, and the crew has been on this adventure. They've been told their whole lives their island they live on is the only one in the entire universe. But after that first vignette, a new island popped up. So now I've got to leave the past and go back to the present day, and I'm assuming another island's popped up, and I'll head there and see what happened with this volcano thing. So there's a lot of cause and effect, and was it like Oracle of Seasons, I think, where you would, or even Oracle of Ages, like you would see the different seasons hop back and forth, and you could change the way things looked. And this is very much like that. So if you like that mechanic, but I'm still very much enjoying this game, and it looks so fucking good on that Steam Deck, and it plays beautifully. I mentioned before when I played the demo, every time I jumped into the demo, I had to change the graphics settings, like they didn't save. Always had to go in there and bump it up. Yeah, so it's good. I've exited the game, gone back in. It's good on this full retail build, so there's no issues there. Good. I still highly recommend this. This is gonna be one I talk about for a while, I think. You want to talk about what you played, and then we jump into Warzone, because we actually we played some Warzone last weekend with Cesar and friend of the show Buish. We're actually Warzone. We're actually Warzone gods now.
Yeah. I played just a small bit of Metroid 2 still. Last week I had
Metroid Prime 2, right? Or you're playing
Metroid Prime 2.
You playing the Game Boy Metroid 2? One of my favorite Metroids that nobody else likes.
So I had transferred the light from the last temple back over, and I just had to like go I guess gather it back in the light world and put it, kind of direct it towards the main temple. And in the process of doing that, you come across like this giant like tripod robot. It's basically like the same principle of like the smaller enemies that you find that are the same, where there's a tripod leg robot with a head that's kind of like a drone.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a larger version of this, and you have of course multiple things. You've got to like shoot the knee joints when they light up. It's targeting you with like lasers and damn missiles, and it's doing like little shock waves with the legs. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it's a quadruped. I think it's got 4. This one had 4 legs,
so not quite a Metal Gear, but a four-legged Metal Gear.
A 4-legged, I don't know, weird. It's got like a weird head on it. Kind of looks like the aliens from Independence Day. So you take out the legs first, and then once they're disabled, the head starts flying around, and you've got to use the echo visor I was telling you about last week, where you can see like sonic signals and stuff. So you see there's an antenna in the center. You've got to shoot the antenna and then destroy 3 different antennas on the drone head that's kind of just flying around. Once you do that, then you can stun the head by hitting it a few times. Usually missiles was the best way to get it stunned.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would just kind of meander around stunned for a little bit, and you would have to use the spider ball to crawl up the legs and like boost over to it. And it had like 2 bomb slots on its head, so you had to do it twice and hit both bomb slots.
Okay.
And then defeat this giant robot. And then I got for defeating this, I got the Annihilator Beam, which I've had the light and dark weapon. This is like the 2 combined. So it uses both energies at the same time.
So you don't have to switch back and forth, you just shoot that same one?
Well, there's certain doors and things that need just the like combined light and dark. It deals a lot of damage, but obviously it uses both ammo types at the same time too, so you've got to kind of worry about that. And then other than that, I mean, I traveled back to the main thing where the alien was happy to see me, but said that there's one more temple. Of course, there's always one more thing. He's like, you've gathered the light back, but something's amiss. There's one more temple, and there's this house.
There's more.
The biggest and bad of our enemies, the Ing. And if you go there, you can find what you need. And as a reward for gathering the light back, I got the I think it was just called the light suit.
Does it look like the Varia suit?
So it cloaks Samus. Let me see if there's a picture here in the book real quick. It cloaks Samus.
Are you looking at the manual or the guide?
This guide here.
Let me see the cover of the guide. It's the shiny one.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So you can't see it super well. But yeah, it's the shiny Nintendo, the official Nintendo guide.
It's beautiful.
There's this right there. It's like this white kind of suit. There's another.
That also, earlier in the show we were talking about Diablo artwork. It looks like Diablo artwork, right?
Almost.
Yeah.
So it's a very like white and black motif to go with the light and dark. On Samus, it almost looks shiny, almost chrome-esque in certain areas. But I've got to now go collect. The last temples only had like 3 keys. Now I've got to traverse back through every area I've already been, because there's 9 keys to get to this temple. So I have to track down all 9 keys and then go to the Sky Temple and finish the game.
Is it annoying backtracking or is it?
I don't know yet. That's why I'm glad I have the guide as a reference, because now I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go straight off the guide because it's gonna tell me exactly where I gotta go.
Yeah,
and hopefully I collect these things like within 15-20 minutes, and then I can get to the end.
I was not far from the end of that Metroid Prime Remastered, and I need to do the same thing with the guide and just grab it and go.
Yeah.
Just give up on being lost and hunting around and just, all right, tell me where to go and then I'll pick it up from there. You're not wrong. It's good though. It feels like a good successor.
Oh gosh. Yeah. It's good.
Excellent. You're going to wait on Corruption, or are you going to go straight into Corruption after this?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go straight into Corruption.
Take a break from the Primes.
Might take a break from the Primes. Plus, I got Resident Evil Requiem coming up.
Yeah, you guys are going to dive into that one. All right.
But
that
other than that,
your games.
Yeah. Played? Other than that, we all got to play some our old school Resurgence.
We're Warzone gods again.
Yes.
We played with the two of us and Cesar, and for the show Buish all played Warzone last Saturday night for 2.5
wins. Yeah,
I think we had 5 wins over our 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
We played casual Resurgence, and it mixed between Rebirth Island and Haven something. What was that?
Yeah, what was that other one?
I like that new map.
That other map was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a New England
riverboat,
New England town, like New Hampshire or something, Massachusetts, like fall leaves, and there's a little bit of water play in there.
Yeah.
And just like some good shootouts, like good buildings and things like that. Of course, there's bots. Like we were discussing as we were playing, like, are we this good? But it's like people running down the road and like looking around in the middle of the road and shooting at you, but they're almost like the grunts in Halo. Like your best case scenario, you should be able to take them out, but they can drain your shields, and then somebody actually comes up next to you, or if your shields are already low, they can actually put a whooping on you. So kind of makes
that one run where we were on the boat and it just like seemed to keep sending wave of bots. Like they just kept falling right there.
Yeah. Buish had like 26 kills in one round where they were just bombing on him nonstop. But then we would run into, we had some nemesis through a couple of rounds where we had these certain shootouts and we were just landing on Resurgence. Like I kept losing to McDonald's employee and then also shooting McDonald's employee. Do you remember that name? And then we just went back and forth. But like, I didn't hate my time with it. It felt like when we ran into real people, they were legitimate battles. Like if you lost, you were like, okay, I lost a shootout, and you didn't see all that run and jumping bullshit nonsense. I didn't see anybody do that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had good shootouts on the boat on Rebirth Island. We had some good water runs. Like there was one we won where we were by the water, and then we went up that little silo area and then came out of that bunker by the silo and took people out as they were trying to come towards. Oh man, it felt like classic great Warzone again. When Warzone feels good and plays well, it's like, man, I don't want to play any other multiplayer shooter ever. This is all I want to play with these guys is this game. But so far, high marks. The guns were fun. I got to learn some of the systems still. There's an RC car in this one. You guys said it was from the Black Ops games, but you could like launch this little RC car and send it off running and detonate it. I ran it. On that Rebirth Island, we were out on that battleship, and I've dropped that shit and ran it out the ramp and went all the way up that hill, like up where the bunkers are, where they're shooting down on you at, and I got somebody from up there. And I was fucking happy.
those kill, I don't know, what do you, they're not kill streaks, but those, like...
specials. I always call them specials.
Things you can pick up. Those all those items. There's stuff like the RC car. There was I picked up a napalm drop at one, and I'm like, wow, this really is old school Black Ops stuff here.
Seems like they've mixed in all sorts of weapon types and just kind of a greatest hits collection of that stuff. I didn't play Black Ops like that with the RC car, so getting that was novel to me. I'm like, man, this is fucking sweet. It controls well. Like one time I was trying to go up a ramp and I fell off the ramp, and it had the physics of like the real RC car, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
I'd definitely fallen off this thing, but it's totally my fault. But it was fun again. Like they made Warzone an enjoyable experience, and we've been cursing its existence for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good for it to at least temporarily, at least for a weekend, to feel right again. So we'll probably give that a go here in the near future. Is there anything else we want to touch on? Anything coming out? I think Marathon will probably be our next big stream where we do stuff together.
I just saw with some of the updates going live for that Metal Gear Solid stuff. If you've got that collection for the original Metal Gear Solid collection Volume 1, there's a free update for Switch 2 that apparently increases the frame rate and resolution. For Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 to 1080p at 60 frames a second.
That's a big upgrade. And of course, that Switch cartridge is only Metal Gear Solid, the first one on that cartridge.
On the cartridge.
It'd be nice to see that get a re-release with all the games on it, right? With one of those bigger cartridge sizes.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Switch 2 specific SKU. Because I think that's been like $20 on Amazon before. I've just resisted. I have so many ways to play those games. I got the PS5 version, and I didn't need the Switch copy there. But that would be nice to have a native Switch 2 port of those.
Yeah.
That's a good update.
I mean, if they release that, that's more than likely going to be a game key card. Because I think they've already said that the second collection on Switch is just a game key card.
It's a game key card? Okay. All right, that'll be the method. That'll be the route they take then.
Yep.
Hopefully Castlevania and all that stuff won't be. If not, I'm buying a 4K Ultra Blu-ray on PS5 and a Steam digital copy. All right, Brand, is that it for you?
That's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.